Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one. Rudy Gobert is taking a lot of heat for getting rolled up by the Joker. Now, let me say I'm not here to defend Rudy Gobert because, in my opinion, he shouldn't have won Defensive Player of the Year this year. It should have been Victor Wembanyama, who averaged 3.6 blocks per game, and he had 30 more steals than Rudy Gobert. Now, somebody told me that Victor Wembanyama didn't qualify to win Defensive Player of the Year because he didn't play enough games. I don't know what enough games is. He played 71 games, right? While putting up, I think, 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 or 5 assists. So this is what I'm going to say about Rudy Gobert. The man did have 2 blocks. He shot 7 for 7 from the field, had 18 points. I don't know what else you want the guy to do. He contested Joker just about every shot. I'm not sure what else he could do. AD couldn't do nothing with Joker. So Draymond Green talked a lot of mess about Rudy Gobert and all this stuff inside the NBA. And we all know they got beef with each other. But like I said, the man put up 2 blocks, gave you 18 points, 7 for 7 from the field. I think double-digit rebounds. What else is he supposed to do? The Joker, as you can see, the way he shoots, and this is when he's about to release it right here. But a lot of times he shoots so far back, he cocks back behind his head and he shoots. So there's really no way when you look at this shot, he can block this shot unless he might have to be a little closer to Joker, but Joker plays kind of off balance. So by the time Joker makes his move and he shoots that ball from behind his head, his opponent is kind of off balance. Because like I said, Joker, you don't know when he's going to shoot. He does all this stepping and moving and stuff like that. So he plays off balance to keep his defender off balance. Kind of like Michael Jordan, right? The thing about Michael Jordan, if you ever watch him play, as soon as he gets the ball, because he's not ball dominant. He was never ball dominant like that. He don't bring the ball up and stuff like that. He receives the ball and he just attacks you. He just attacks you, especially in the 90s. He just attacks you. So he keeps you off balance. He doesn't sit there and try to figure out what he's going to do unless he's in the post. Okay, if he's facing you straight up, a lot of times in the post too, as soon as he gets the ball, he just attacks you and doesn't move. And that's what was so unique about Michael Jordan. He kept his opponents off balance. And, I've been seeing a lot of this with Anthony Edwards and stuff like that. But Michael Jordan was great. As soon as he got the ball, he just attacked you. He wasn't trying to figure out, is he going to go left? He was going to go right. What's he going to do? He's going to figure out how he's going to finish once he gets to that point. That's what was so incredible about Michael Jordan. And if a lot of NBA players played like that, I think they would be better players, but I don't think they could because they don't have the skill set as far as finishing like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan could finish any kind of way based on, at the end of his play, when he's going up, he's going to figure out what kind of move he's going to make in the air, depending on what the defenders do in the air and who's coming at him. So, Joker, you got to understand the way he plays. He plays like this because his athleticism isn't that good. He's not an Akeem. He's not a David Robinson. He's not even a Patrick Ewing or a Wilt Chamberlain or some of these great centers that were great offensive players and could actually, jump higher than Joker. Joker can't really jump. So Joker keeps you off balance, and you just ain't going to be able to stop this guy. The one thing he has around the basket is a real soft touch. And like I said, because he's not a great athletic player, he formulated this real soft touch around the basket with his hands. So it's really hard to, defend this guy. AD is I think, a better shooter, a better mid-range shooter, of course, a better athletic player than Joker. He can go straight up and don't have to worry about his shot getting blocked. We got to give this guy credit. You're not going to be able to do nothing with him. Um, you don't have those type of players today. I don't think he could do this type of stuff on, Hakeem, Dikembe Mutombo, Robinson, Ewing, Morning. These guys were just more athletic. And the number one thing is these guys were two-way players. I know Dikembe Mutombo wasn't, but the defense was number one. I think in the NBA back in the '90s, defense was number one, and the offense was going to come secondary. If you watch '90s basketball, nobody was getting easy shots. The dude was draped all on you just about every time you shot, unless you was left wide open or if you just made a move around your guy, something like that. But straight up defense, even Michael Jordan wasn't getting no easy shots. That's why you see him making spectacular shots. You think he was making these crazy spectacular shots because it was easy? No. Yes, he made a lot of shots when, he got past the defender maybe and it was somebody there. Yeah, but most of the times he made these incredible shots because there was always the defense draped on him. So when we come in this era right here, it looks like offense is always going to be defense. Because like I said before, a lot of these guys aren't used to playing defense, especially in the regular season. Now defense comes alive a little bit more in the playoffs for these guys. But when you look at '90s defense, it's in the playoffs, it's really lockdown defense. You had to earn all your points. So what I'm saying is these guys today, because of the regular season, they don't play any defense. It's hard for them to play lockdown, devoted defense in the playoffs. They're not used to playing this defense. So, I'm not on here to defend Rudy Gobert, but you can't beat him up too much. The man had 2 blocks. He had 18 points on 7 for 7 shooting, double-digit rebounds. What else do you want the guy to do? I mean, they gave him a fraudulent defensive player of the year. And like Sports and Fitness Rant says, Duncan had 0. We already know how great of a defensive player Duncan was. And that just goes to show how weak this era is. If Rudy Gobert has 4 of them, Pippen has none. What? That shows how great defense was, or defensive players were back in the '90s. Who else? Kobe has none. It's just ridiculous. And then some of the great defensive players of the past, they don't have as many defensive players of the year as Rudy Gobert. So there's nothing Rudy Gobert can do to stop Joker, because Joker, he doesn't play a straight up game. He plays off balance, and he you don't know what this guy is going to do because, like I said, he doesn't have the great athleticism that other players have. We take Larry Bird, right? Larry Bird had to do a lot of off balance stuff like that too in the '80s. Not to the extent that Joker does it, because he's not really a post player. Larry Bird wasn't. He could play in the post, but because of his non-athleticism or lack thereof, fundamentals came in. He had to find a way to, juke his guy, keep the guy off balance. Like I said, I wouldn't say it to the extent of Joker, because I saw Larry Bird go up with the most athletic guys out there and do them. So he'll shoot right in front of their face straight up. So yeah, this series isn't over. I'm not going to say that, Denver is going to win the next game, because Minnesota has fought tooth and nail in every single game. It hasn't been an easy game. I know the end of this game, it became, a bigger lead than the other games. But this is what I'm going to say. And I said this before. I don't have LeBron in my top 10. But I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm going to put Joker above LeBron if Joker wins his championship. It's because he has no All-NBA teammate, no All-Star teammate, no All-Defensive teammate, no Hall of Fame teammate. He beat LeBron back-to-back seasons, gentleman sweep, in a sweep. He had to go in the Lakers series. He had to go against the refs. The NBA, when I talk about Adam Silver in him not him not able to control the refs to make it a fair game against the Lakers, Denver against the Lakers, in the media. And we all know right now that if Denver wins, they'll be playing teams like OKC or the Mavs and probably the Celtics in the finals. So I think those back-to-back championships will mean more than LeBron's championships, right? Because, you know, three of those championships, well, four of them, he had super teams. Dwayne Wade, top two player, second best player in the East. And if we want to be real, LeBron, Bosh, and Wade, top 10 players in the NBA, right? And then we go to the Cavs. We're looking at, we got to say Kyrie and Love were top 10 players in the league at that time. And then when we look at the fact that LeBron beat nobody in the bubble, I don't think he beat a 50-win team. And on top of that, he played Miami. Come on now. He had Dwight Howard, a Hall of Famer, should be a top 75 player. We talked about why he isn't. When you look at his resume, it's a joke. 3 defensive players of the year in a row. I think he was 6-time first team defensive. I think all NBA first team, if I'm not mistaken, 8 times. 2 block titles, 5 rebound titles. And this guy's not in the top 75, but they put a guy like Dame Time in there. I don't even think Dame Time has any statistical accolades. And when you look at Dwight Howard's statistical accolades, he's got more than LeBron James. And more than most guys in the top 75. And when we talk about he beat LeBron in 2009, and he beat who? That Celtics big three. We'll make a video on that. He beat the Celtics big three that LeBron said was so scary. Okay, Dwight Howard beat them in 2009. Celtics team that only had the number 1 seed in the East like one time in 6 years. And LeBron had the number 1 seed over twice, while the big three was the big three. So the big three was a fraud. LeBron just only, we touched on that before. We think LeBron, when you look at, he lost 4-2 in both of them series against Orlando and Boston, and that Kobe happened to beat his opponents in the Eastern Conference Finals 4-2. I mean, the Western Conference Finals 4-2. We don't think he wanted to play Kobe, because if Kobe would have beat him in the finals both years, or any year, 1 year, whatever, but especially back-to-back years, beating LeBron in the finals, LeBron's career would have just been a good player. He would not have been a top 5 player, according to ESPN that has him, Fox Sports and ESPN has him 1 or 2. So Kobe would have beat him in the finals in back-to-back seasons. There will be no LeBron Jordan comparisons. And we all know what happened when he lost in 2011. He went and got that super team because he was scared to play Kobe. Dwayne Wade even said it. Even though he didn't play Kobe because Kobe got beat by the Mavs. He had to go get a super team. He was so scared of Kobe to play Kobe. And that's why we think he lost on purpose in 2009, 2010. Now, we don't really have the solid evidence, but that's what we're thinking. He didn't want that smoke because his GOAT debate would have been over. And it should have been over after 2009, 2010, 2011. And it should have been over after 2014, after he came out, after the smoke cleared. And it should have been over again after 2018 when he got swept. And he had a gentleman's sweep in 2017. But I'm trying to tell you, after 2011, no, about 2012, right? Kobe was pretty much done. I think he got hurt 2013, if I'm not mistaken. So this is what the NBA was stuck with. They were stuck with LeBron, a loser. So they had to find a way to prop this guy up with a fake stat line, 27, 7, and 7, right? That only got you 1 scoring title, overwhelming rebounds, 7 rebounds a game. What? Biggest guy on the court as far as weight-wise and sometimes the height. When we look at, I think Magic Johnson averaged 7, if I'm not mistaken. So we know people like Barkley, Bird, Malone, averaged 10. Seven rebounds ain't nothing. I think Jason Kidd averaged 7. I think Clyde Drexler averaged 7. Jordan averaged 6. So Jordan overachieved. LeBron underachieved. 7 assists. It's good. It's not great. It's not elite. Elite is like 10 or more. I would say great is maybe like 8, 9. So his stat line only got him 2 statistical titles in 21 years. So this is what the NBA has been stuck with these narratives for LeBron James. And every time he loses, he has to switch cities and make it seem like, oh, it was his team. It was his team. It was his team in Cleveland in 09, 010. Had the best record 2 years in a row. Won the MVP. It was his team. With a super team. Miami. Only had 2 championships. Barely had 2. Oh, it was his team. Need to go to Cleveland. Wins 1 championship, barely. Oh, he's got to go. It was his team. Goes to the Lakers, wins a bubble championship, and the whole time, it's been his team. They did everything for this guy. So, yeah. We got to give this guy credit and see it for what it is. This guy's not athletic. Joker isn't. So he had to develop a fundamental game to play up to his own standards of not being athletic. And they can't explain why a plumber who isn't athletic is dominating this era, especially if he wins back-to-back championships. He's above LeBron. That's if they win this series. Maybe the Wolves win it. I don't know. But the NBA is looking for the next already because they're in a dilemma. They don't know if the Anthony Edwards is going to go to the finals or Joker is going to go to the finals. But, yeah. You guys tell me what you think. I'm not going to beat up on Rudy Gobert. Not in this game because I see his stat line. The guy was trying. He just can't stop Joker. You can't block this shot. You can't. Is he overrated? Yes, he's overrated. He should not have won all these defensive players of the year. But it just exposes this era with Rudy Gobert, Joker. Not saying he's not a good player. He's great in this era. But the athleticism isn't there. So this era is getting exposed. Tell me what you think.